Hello, my name is John Gleason. I will be presenting Tableau 2. So first off here we have our data set. Just getting right off to a straight look at the data set, we can see that we're dealing with the United States regions and states, and a certain product dealing with paddleboards, kayaks, canoes, stuff like that, and that they have all different items with different sorts of names, Blackfin, Ascend 12T, all sorts of different stuff. But here we can see that there are some very large profit differences, as well as profits per unit differences. So I believe that right off the bat, that sort of tells us that maybe we're going to be looking at which products are more profitable and which ones are less profitable. So we're going to stay in our region. We're going to go to Florida in the south. We're going to focus in on the south and sort of use that as our example. Our first page here, we have our profits in the south over the time frame that they gave us, which is 2019 and 2020. Right away we can see that there's some bigger things. In Florida, for some reason, the cruiser is really popular, but over here in Arkansas, it is not. We can see that Ascend 12 is popular here in North Carolina, and as well as in Florida in 2020, as well as the cruiser, and then we have some big standouts here like the Blackfin in Georgia. So we need to really dive into what some of these numbers are. Why are some of these standing out? Maybe we can realize by putting them in a different sort of order. And that would bring us to our next page, which is Blackfin. So what this did here is we broke this down into the yearly order, and we really focused in on one product, that Blackfin product. We're going to see here in 2019 that in Florida, it was at 24,000 units sold and 1.8 million in profit. But in the next year, for some reason, it went down a lot to only 3,300 units sold and 1.3 million. And then the opposite happens here in Tennessee, where it's 5,000 units sold and 1.7. But actually, it goes down, but it goes up in units. So why is that happening? Again, here in Virginia, we can also see 1 million sold, and then the next year, 1.3. Why are these all going up? We need to figure that out. Maybe we did something right, and we can learn from our lesson and use that for other items. That brings us to our next thing here, which is our map. We want to see what areas are the most profitable. Why is Florida and Georgia and Virginia, why are all these areas getting way more profit than over here in places like Louisiana and Alabama? That just maybe we can copy some of the marketing tactics here and figure out how we can get that to these areas and figure out why these areas are making more. Is it because of their population? Is it because of where they live? Florida is surrounded by water, so that would make sense for a kayaking canoe company to do a little bit better there. But why wouldn't South Carolina be doing nearly as good as Georgia and North Carolina? So maybe we can dive into that and figure out why that is happening. That's a good thing to see. That way we can sort of get deeper into the root cause of that. Another thing we have here is a city breakdown. It doesn't just happen at the state level. It also happens at the city level. You got to realize that each city is different. Every city has a different breakdown. For example, we can see here in Florida things like the cruiser in 2019 doing way better and going down. The Ascend 12 in Charlotte, North Carolina being way up then going way down. Why are these things happening? Jacksonville, North Carolina, way up on the Ascend 12, way down in 2020. This is a good thing to realize. That way maybe we can go back and look at why these things are happening. Again, Waynesboro, Virginia, you can see in those top three areas, there it goes up and then back to down. Onto our region sales profit. We have an interactive map here. If you want to look at it by state level, this allows you to zoom in. You can see exactly what is doing better or what is doing worse. Here in Georgia, again, we go back to that Blackfin. We can see it was down. Now it's way up. What made that jump? We can see the Ascend 12 way up, way down. And then for some reason, the cruiser down and then all the way back up. Why are some of these items more popular and less popular in areas? This allows us to see which areas are booming in certain items and which areas aren't. And allow us to maybe come at it for a new marketing tactic. Again, here in Louisiana, why did we get rid of BKC, Angler, and Blackfin when they were doing so well? maybe this is something that we can bring back up. After that, we move on to our story. In the first item here, we have the sales profit per year. This is sort of just a groundkeeper for people to get a good understanding. That's why we started off the story with this. It allows you to read through the numbers. It allows you to look at the South and see sort of how this works, what are maybe some more of the popular things, some of the less popular things throughout that 2-year span. After that, we move on to that Blackfin sale that I was talking about. You get to see the disparity in how does it jump with less units sold. That's something that, when you break it down into smaller units and you can break it down by state or item, why do some things sell more and have less value when they sell less and have higher value? That is something good to look at and make sure that we get a better understanding of. Next, we have the interactive map. Like I said, it's really useful here, and the reason that we put it in this order is so that after people realize, there's disparity in the prices, now we can go state by state and look at every single item, right? We can see in each state, why is Blackfin doing better here, and why is Cruiser consistently here but in none of the other states? See Cruiser here and then completely gone in the next year. So why are these things happening? Very interesting to see. Like I said, we can focus in though. We can see the disparity. Why are BKC and Blackfin completely gone the next year in Louisiana? This is a really good example to sort of highlight. They lose millions of dollars just because of these two alone. Almost $2 million combined here that they lose. So if I'm a part of this company, I'm really talking to myself, why are we losing almost 66% of our margin here with these two gone? Why did we have to pull that out? How can we get back in there with that? And the last part of the story is again highlighting those cities, saying again that you can get down to that smaller level. It's important to know what each area's breakdown is and to understand how can we get the numbers back up, or how can we emulate something that's happening. Example, the Explorer here in Jacksonville. How did we get that number to go up, and how can we keep that going with all of our numbers? Again, thank you so much. My name is John Gleason. This has been the Tableau 2 project, and thank you again.